This is Ultimate Soccer with Soccer Steve.
And welcome into the Ultimate Soccer Show. Hope you're having a great day. Hope you're getting ready for this weekend. We've got some massive games coming up and cup finals all around the place. We're going to focus on two cup finals, one in the main, the English League Cup final coming off this weekend at Wembley. That's February 26th between these two beauties, Newcastle United and Manchester United. Two great English teams going to go head-to-head this weekend. We're going to tell you all about it. A little bit of history about before we get there, the shirt. Yeah, the shirt. I'm wearing a retro Man United shirt back in the 90s as it's a wide fit. I'm not a wide guy. Might be a wise guy, but I'm not a wide guy. Quite fit. You're going to see me kicking a ball this season at Cavalry FC. Get ready for that. But what we're going to say is it's a retro Man United shirt. Yes, I'm cheering for the opposite team of Newcastle. I'm going for the Reds of Manchester. I have done all my life, so I'm not going to change it. Hey, you know what? If you love me being a Man United fan, let me know. If you can't stand it, let me know. It's about time we had some banter. If you've got an EPL team out there, hit me on the chin. Let's have some fun. Are you tired of me wearing United stuff? Maybe I'll put your shirt on. Anyway, Man United shirt for the day, Man United shirt for the weekend, Man United fan all my life. I had no choice. My dad was United. I'm United. Apart from one in our family, my big brother. He's Crystal Palace and hates Man United with a passion. Don't you? Don't you? Don't you? He's all over the place. Yes, he does. Anyway, get into the final. Let's have a bit of history before we get into this. I'm going to tell you what we're going to get into right now. We're going to get into the League Cup history right now. Then after that, we're going to touch about the first final, the last 10 finals. There's some interesting numbers in that. Then we're going to get up to the possible starting lineups with the graphics. Wait for that. You'll love it. Then Man United tactics to win, Newcastle tactics to win, and my prediction. That's what we're going through. But now, let's talk a little history very shortly. Back in the 60s, the early 60s, 1961, you're going to see pretty soon who got to that final. But originally, the English Football League Cup was for the small teams. It wasn't for the big clubs. It was designed for little teams, the third and the fourth division teams in England, to get a taster of what it's like to get to Wembley. See, it wasn't designed for the big clubs. Well, once the big clubs saw how much fun the little clubs were having and how easy it was to get a piece of silverware, eventually the big clubs wanted to jump on in. And not many years later, 69, I believe it was, or 67, 69, in that ratio, the big clubs joined in. I think it was 67, but the big clubs joined in. And after that, no little club either got close to the final or got into the final. It was always the big teams winning it. So the original design of the English Football League Cup fell by the wayside in probably about a 6 to 7 season span. So little clubs had a little fun, and the big clubs have had all the big fun ever since. That's the original reason why the English League Cup, the EFL, the Carabao, call it what you want, but that's why the English Football League Cup came around. That was its purpose. As I say, nowadays, it's for the big clubs. Okay, let's take a look at the first final. So there you can see it. The first final was Aston Villa taking on Rotherham. Originally, the League Cup final was over 2 legs. Aston Villa winning out 3-2 on aggregate. They lost 2-0, but they won 3-0. So Rotherham United losing in the first final to Aston Villa. And you say, Stevie, you said it was only for little clubs. Back then, Aston Villa were in a little club status. They're a big club status now. Okay, let's take a look at last year's final. Do you remember who won the final and who won on penalty kicks? Feast your eyes on this. Yeah, do you remember that one? Liverpool winning over Chelsea. 2 mid-table teams of this year, 2 massive teams of last year. And here's a funny thing. Last year, Liverpool and Chelsea met in both cups, FA Cup and League Cup final. No goals in either game. Both went to penalties. The FA Cup, Liverpool won 6-5 on penalties. And as you can see, the League Cup final, they won 11-10 on penalties as well. And if you want to know, it was Kepa, the Chelsea keeper, who missed the final penalty blow kick. It was a terrible effort. And Liverpool ran away winners. So Kepa blew it. Liverpool won it. It was a great final, though, got to tell you. But yeah, that's the way it finished. Now, before we get to those 10 finals I was talking about, the first ever final was between Swindon and the Arsenal. It was 1969. Remember, the small clubs were supposed to be the teams in this trophy. In 1969, the big clubs joined in. Arsenal got all the way to the final where they met a small club, Swindon Town. Swindon would win the game 3-1. Beautiful game. And Swindon would win it 3-1. Roger Smart got a goal on 35 minutes to put Swindon ahead. They were ahead 1-0 all the way to the end of the game. And Bobby Gould tied it up on 86. Didn't matter because in extra time, Swindon would say, doesn't matter, we're going to win it. And Don Rogers would get 2 goals in extra time on 104 and 119. And Swindon would win 3-1. Now, looking at these finals, Man City's had quite some dominance in the last 10 years. Hey, 4 wins out of the last 5. That's 4 trophies, 4 EFL trophies out of the last 5. Not too bad, eh? Not too bad. 5 out of the last 7, 7 out of the last 9. Pretty dominant. But this year we will have a new champion again. And if Newcastle win it, that's the first trophy in 27 years. If United win it, it's the first trophy in 5 real trophies. So you got to say, who's going to get this? I'll tell you at the end of it, predictions. But that's what we're looking at for the 10 titles in the last 10 years. Let's take a look at the possible starting lineups. Okay, now, looking at Manchester United, I hope and pray that David De Gea doesn't have a blunder because once in a while, man, oh man, I mean, in midweek, United played Barcelona. He nearly squared the ball right down the middle in front of goal and nearly gave out a goal for Barcelona, who were already up 1-0. So I'm hoping for no howlers, no De Bruyne's from De Gea. Let's hope that he plays a straight game. On the shot stopping, if it's shot right at him, he's going to get it. If it's something different, I have my real reservations about De Gea moving forward, and they want to pay him £250,000 a week moving forward. There is better out there. Anyway, I say they go with De Gea up front. The back 4, pretty much like I say. Sabitzer, I like the Austrian in midfield. I like what he does. You can also say that Casemiro's coming in off the bench is my ploy. He had a tough game midweek. He's going to feel that. So Casemiro coming in off the bench for my money. Fred is in the middle. I'm going for the actual 4-2-3-1 like I've seen recently. Fernandes wide, Vegos down the middle, and Garnacho. Such a great little player, this kid. The Argentinian, Garnacho, fantastic little player. He's lighting it up at his young age. He's getting the chances. This will be his first major final. This would be the time to stand up and make something happen. And he has the skill, and sometimes he's got blinding skill. It looks like he's pushing the ball too close to the defender, and the defender can just take it away. And all of a sudden, boom, boom, he's gone round him, and he's on his way to the line to cross the ball. He's a magical little player. And Nacho, look for this kid to become something special, real special, in a world of football, because I'm not sure he's ever going to stay at Man United all his career. I think there are clubs that he wants to go to, like Ronaldo went to Real Madrid. I think he's a similar candidate, but what a great talent. And as for Rashford, he's doing it. Let's have a couple of goals in the final for Man United and Rashford. I'd be quite happy. Newcastle fans would not. There's no doubt about it. But that's what I'm looking at for the possible lineups. And, you know, like I say, in this final, it can go any way. And I'm not looking for Man United to be the favourite, but I'm going to give you my predictions on what I'm thinking towards the end of it. And as far as Newcastle, I think that, Newcastle's, they're coming into their own. They're coming into their own. I've got to say, is that United look like they could dominate this one, but are they going to? And are they going to be tired after that midweek battle with Barcelona? Because Newcastle's just sitting by, watching United get exhausted and saying, go on, boys, use every drop of energy you got because we want a tired second half. Wait for Newcastle to maybe get some relief or some joy in the second half. If they don't take the lead in the first, watch the second half for Newcastle's legs to start coming into the game. Because like I say, Man United had a heck of a time coming in. Now, as for Newcastle and the tactics, soaking up the defence is what they do well. 2 losses on the season in the Premier League. They don't give up many goals. They aren't giving up many goals, period. But they don't score many goals recently. I think next year Newcastle needs to sign a massive striker. But the point of the matter is, Newcastle's key to wins, soak up the defence, clog the midfield, and use the body. Absolutely use the body on Man United's players because they're tired already. You start bouncing them around, they're going to get tired even quicker. So use the body, play the counter, soak up the pressure, and be 11 strong men together. Be a team, and you can beat United. It would be a 2-1 or 1-0 win for Newcastle if they do it. And I'm saying it's use the body, but use wisely. Not hacking and not getting in there rough. Just shoulder checking, pushing around off the ball stuff, getting in their face, all the little things to slow them down. That would get under United's skin, especially people like Fernandes, Garnacho. Those are guys that you really want to get under the skin of to take them off their game. That would kill Man United's wide side and give Newcastle an even bigger edge on the defense. And as for in goal, we've got to wait to see what comes in for Newcastle. But I'd go with Dubravka. I wouldn't go with Karius. I really wouldn't. As for Man United and the tactics, what you see is what you get. They've set up under Erik ten Hag in the same frame, same form every game. And since they've been embarrassed with those 2-4-0 losses at the beginning of the season, they play it interchange. They don't necessarily go down the wing. They don't necessarily go backwards. They don't necessarily go anywhere. What they're doing is they're playing 2 groups of 5, defensive 5, forward 5, and they move that way. But when it's defense, it's 10 behind the ball with 1 release when he gets time. So United, they've got the skill, they've got the tactics, and they've got the pace. And they've also got finish. But they're coming up against the best defense in the league, which translated into cup football, I know you can say means nothing, but form means everything. So finally, with the prediction on this, the form is this. Can the defensive game squash and swallow Man United's offence and take them out of the game, and at the same time capitalise on a set piece, either corner or free kick? And in open play, like you saw in the last round, Longstaff and the interchange play with the goals against Southampton in the semi-final, you've got to say they can do that too. But more than not, it's going to be a free kick or a corner against Man United in the final. Watch it happen. My prediction is a possible 2-1 United. That's what I'm predicting. I know Newcastle's been to Wembley many times, and Alan Shearer, the great tune man himself, the great striker, he had 2 finals at Wembley. One was against United. They lost that too. So looking at it face value, it's a fantastic game we got lined up. Sunday, mark your calendar, Feb 26. It's going to be a barn burner. Like I say, 2-1 United. But there's what I'm thinking. There's my take. There's the lineups. There's some history. Enjoy it. Get into it. And remember one thing, guys. It's very important that you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and keep coming back for more, because we do this for you. Glory, glory, Man United. Away the lads. Let's get ready for Sunday. Cheers.
The ultimate soccer show. Join me, listen, you'll love it. Everybody does.